This is the RILS Project for Sarah Howard covering mobile digital storytelling. We'll be using iPads and the application Little Bird Tales, available from the App Store, to capture images, record audio, and create a digital story. Target audience for my project was 6 to 9 age group, as that's the age of my sons. They have previous experience with iPads, so this was a good mix. In a classroom, you would want to make time to explore both the hardware and the software. That wasn't necessary for me. But after that, we would discuss our subject. In this case, we were documenting the change in season. And we would storyboard or brainstorm about how we want to organize our story and the things that we would like to include. For me, since this project was done at home, and we don't have a whiteboard, we improvised and found out that our sliding glass door makes a great whiteboard in the evening with a white crayon. So we used it for our storyboarding instead of handing out pieces of paper and letting them work individually. This way they could see the whole picture as it was unfolding, and they were really able to make the adjustments that they wanted in real time and log the things that we were going to be looking for as we created our story and when we moved into the next phase. This was a great way to get them interacting with the ideas and the information. The only materials that were required for this were the iPad version 2 or higher to eliminate a camera and the Little Bird Tales app, and of course subjects to document. Once we logged our storyboard ideas, we took the ideas and went out to search for images and experiences to document in our story. We went to local farmers markets where they were able to see the vegetables that were in season. Here they were able to use the iPad and capture the images themselves, which they really enjoyed. They loved looking at all the different things and wondering if some things were in season or if they were grown elsewhere because they didn't look fall to them. We also went around to local farms and spoke with farmers and were able to tour the fields and see what they were growing. Of course, they were able to take home a few things of their own to represent the fall season. They were really surprised by all the shapes and colors and sizes of things that were out at market. This kind of activity really lends itself to social participation and learning. They're out interacting with the community as well as working with each other to create a product. After viewing an example that I had already made, the boys were able to pretty quickly decide what they wanted to do and how they wanted to set it up. They were familiar with the tools. They were very simple to use. They went ahead and tapped the button that said create a new project, and they were off. From there, we talked about adding photos and how to manipulate them and what we should do to enhance the photos with backgrounds. That's where the paint tool came in, and they were pretty excited to explore that. They were pretty interested in drawing their own pictures as well as painting with or manipulating the photos that they took. We use these objectives as a guideline for what we should expect from our digital storytelling experience, both for students and teachers. It's not a comprehensive list, but it certainly was a good place to start. Keeping these things in mind, we had a great collection of self-drawn images as well as photos that they had taken and using some that I had from previous experiences. So they were really interested in seeing how they could manipulate the pages and make the pictures work together, and then fill the story in around the pictures. The last part of the puzzle was actually recording the story that they had written. We used our storyboard ideas to write the text for each page, and then because I only had two, it was really easy to alternate each page with the recording. I liked that they were really interested in recording it right and making sure that they read it right. They re-recorded pages several times because they didn't like how they sounded or they didn't like the way that they had read the page. So it worked out really well. This experience allowed them to draw on previous knowledge as well as talk to new people and learn new things about what happens in fall in Washington. And this is their completed work.
Autumn on the Way by Tom and Wyatt Howard. It looks like the leaves are starting to fall. This helps trees save energy for winter, but it's also beautiful. It is time to bring in the harvest. Squash is a great fall vegetable. Time for fall flowers. No more daisies and tulips. We collected herbs from the garden. The wheat has been harvested. Animals are storing food for their winter. A squirrel is storing acorns. The deer are eating as much as they can before winter. In autumn, the weather gets colder. Fall is when the rowan tree berries turn red. Rowan berries have a star on their bottom. They are a special berry to some. The equinox will be here soon. That's when day and night are equal. Another leaf has fallen. The trees are getting ready for a fall show. Then they will take a winter nap. Samhain will be here soon. It's almost time for trick or treat. Welcome, autumn.
Afterwards, we used our journal for reflection. I asked the boys the questions that you see here about what they liked, and they responded, and we talked about those responses. All in all, this was a great project. It got us outside into natural world, and we were able to see what's going on in fall in our hometown. There were places that the boys hadn't seen yet, or myself, and it was a really great experience, not only being together, but looking at these things and learning about them. I do a lot of projects with my kids, especially try to get outdoors, and I found this one to be incredibly easy because it was motivational. They were motivated to create a product, they were motivated to work with the technology, and they were motivated to get out and about and see places and things that we hadn't seen before. We were able to bring things home and create a great little centerpiece with the things that we had seen and learned about. All in all, digital storytelling is a viable and successful tool to enhance motivation and increase learning.